Alright, so from a standpoint, nose to nose, the Aristo is slightly protrudes a little bit more. And from the front, the vehicle is actually quite wide. I actually thought that my car was quite tiny, but turns out that it's really not that small. In comparison to the Aristo, which I find to be the big boy, the fat daddy, the I'm a gangster vehicle is really not much wider. But from the side, you can clearly notice a difference. Where the hoods go up, the roof line, and he's got the I can fit 5 bodies in the trunk booty.
Very Yakuza.
Now, from the interior, this is kind of cool. I actually kind of dig this. I've ridden in the backseat of this vehicle before. You have not a lot of legroom, but you have this natural gangster lean when you get in. Now, I'm a big boy. Getting in is a little tight. But once you're in, you really just sink in and then you just melt into the seat and it's comfortable. I could probably go easily on a 3-4 hour road trip, not have to worry about stretching my legs, get out of the vehicle whenever. It's just nice. So here we have Sawyer, the man that I said was operating the camera before. He's actually going to go over this vehicle. This is his. Hopefully for a little bit longer. We'll see. He'll explain what he had to do to make this a true twin setup.
So, I'm not going to go into too much specifics because it's basically just uncapping a few vacuum lines and plugging a few up here and swapping a few things around. It's honestly like 5 minutes worth of work. And what it does is, from factory, the 2JZGTE sequential twin turbo system will spool up the first turbo between, I don't know, about 1500 to 4000 RPM. And then around 4200 to 4500, there's a transition where it engages the second turbo, and then they work together in harmony. And what that gives you is a nice smooth power delivery, but it's also like on the low end, you're not getting as much power. So
it's more of a linear setup.
Exactly. So what I've done is actually set this to true twin conversion. So it behaves more like an RB26 in that fashion, where you don't get a lot of boost up to about 3000 RPM, and then it comes on like a rocket. So it's actually a lot of fun. Every time it comes on boost, I can't help but smile and giggle like a little girl. So, I think that's it. Other than, yeah, mine's just non-VVTi from '93. They basically just took a production line 2JZ GTE meant for the Mark IV Supra and just kind of threw it in there. So
now, from a reliability standpoint, would you recommend the Aristo?
This engine's like the John Cena of engines in the sense that it makes so many dreams come true, and that it'll really never let you down as long as you take care of it. That's really the attitude towards any car. You take care of your car, it'll take care of you. You know, change your freaking oil. You know, watch your coolant levels. Don't overheat it. Don't redline it when you start it cold, kind of stuff. And yeah, honestly, it makes a pretty solid daily driver. Although I wouldn't recommend it in the wintertime. Anything rear-wheel drive can get a little too squirrely on you sometimes. So
what's the fuel like?
Terrible, absolutely awful. But that's also because I can't keep my foot off the gas sometimes. So that's my own fault. I'm getting maybe 350, 400 kilometers to a tank if I'm. So
that's not terrible for a twin turbo inline six.
No,
It's really not that bad.
It's not bad. And actually, if you lay off the turbos and the true twin setup, you can get up to like 600-700K a tank. Like just highway driving, just casually cruising with overdrive on. It's relaxing, comfortable. You know, it's got cruise control. You know, it's
But let's be real here. Anybody who's interested in these cars isn't worried about fuel economy.
No, you don't buy a twin turbo car for fuel economy.
So here's the fun part. Now, because we wanted to get this cool side-by-side comparison for you guys, his car is right-hand drive.
That's true.
So it's got some cool features on the inside. So he's actually going to have to monkey his way through the passenger door.
Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to that.
We weren't planning on this, but I mean, it's got tons of room.
It's kind of tight, but one of the cool features of this car is the steering wheel actually moves as soon as you put the key in the ignition. So, and it's memory. So you set it to where you want it to go, and then it comes right to you. So you don't have to worry about not having room to get in and out if you're a bigger guy like Brandon is, right?
And this is a 93.
Yeah, it's a 93, and it's
way above its time.
It's got actually this guy right here. This is an interesting little tidbit. This is actually an air purifier from factory. So you can set this little wheel here, auto, low, high, and it will actually purify the air, right? This car, I guess, was designed for like the elites or something like that, right? Like this was the luxury sedan. It's got so many over-the-top features. It's got a little feature. It'll actually vibrate the mirrors when you push this button, which I'm not going to push because this function's broken and makes a terrible noise. That will actually shake and wick the water off of your mirrors, which is so over the top and so 90s Japanese car. Like
that's some extreme attention to detail.
A little bit, yeah. And I mean, sitting in this car is quite satisfying. It's comfortable. The seats don't hug you like a GT car would, but they're roomy. They're comfortable. You can still move around a bit. It's not going to sling you all over the place if you're taking a corner, which, I mean, you're not going to take a corner doing 120 in this thing anyways. This is a straight line cruiser car, if anything. So plenty of room all around. Obviously not a factory deck, but the previous owner did a really, really good job with this. A nice little cubby in here. Custom pink aux cord. And it's also got little things like this ECT mode where you can switch between normal and power, and it doesn't do a whole lot, but what that does is it'll hold the RPMs closer to redline between each shift, and it'll be more inclined to downshift when you lay on the gas a little bit more. So when you're bombing around and you're trying to have a little bit of fun, power mode's the way to go.
I actually happen to have the same feature in my IS300. I also have a snow mode though.
And what that does is it'll actually attempt to start rolling the vehicle in second gear instead of first gear, and it'll basically like try and shift as quickly as possible to limit how much torque is being put to the rear wheels, because you're on snow, rear wheel drive, and like I said, one wrong move and you could be a little too sideways for your comfort. I mean, don't be wrong, going sideways in the snow is fun, just within reason.
All right, now with that said, we're gonna stop here, get everything all set, and we're gonna go do some pulls.
That's good.
So we out here in Mexico, about to hit that tunnel near the airport.
In Mexico.
In Mexico. With a, it's a 93? 93 Toyota Aristo. It's a 2J, it's that stock life.
Just a little bit of turbo speed.
You'll probably get some wind noise and I apologize. She gets rowdy. But this time we're going to do a comparison. We have here I believe it's a 93.
93.
Toyota Aristo. This comes from Japan. for all you JDM guys. This is actually my buddy Sawyers. He's working the camera right now. This is a 3-liter inline 6. It's automatic, which is how the Aristo came. Pulls like snot. Basically, these two cars are so much alike, but so different. So right off the bat, obviously mine, the IS, is a 2J, but it is naturally aspirated. This comes with claims from factory, 215 horsepower and 218 foot-pounds of torque. It's still fun, but I mean, turbo. You can't live a boosted life and not have a whole lot of fun. So, interesting about this, and we just realized this. Toyota, what are you doing? Like, engine fan fluid.
Why?
What is this? It's interesting. If any of you guys know why, please throw it in the comments below. Let us know.